You ever get some chocolate and just be like, bro, I'm so addicted. Anywho. Alright. Alright. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having a great day today, because definitely I am. And judging by this title, you know we are about to wonder, we're about to think, we're about to chop it up, about why people shy away from therapy. But before we get into this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it to all your friends and family if they might be in need of this video. Let them know, and also comment feedback and content suggestions below. It helps me out a lot. And don't forget that my new project premieres on February 1st, so stay tuned for that. And let's just go on and jump right into it, because I don't want this to be a long video. Yeah. So I always hear people talking about, oh, therapy is like for people that are crazy, or why would you talk to therapists and they don't even know what you're going through, or they don't know nothing about your personal life, and you gonna go talk to a stranger. You hear all these different excuses of why therapy is not a good place to go to, and I'm just looking at these people when they say this, like, where do you get this from? Or why do you think that? And then their excuses or reasons behind why they think the way they think is so illegitimate. I'm just like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm definitely here to let you all know therapy is a safe place, okay? In therapy, you talk about things that you might be going through with family, friends, personal issues with yourself. You never know what you might be going through, anything, and they're there to listen. They give a little bit of advice, but they do not give the advice if you don't want it, okay? You are literally just there talking to somebody when you feel like you can't talk to anybody else, because we do, let's all face it, we all have those friends, family members, and whoever else, boyfriends, girlfriends, that when you talk to them about stuff, they barely listen. Let's face it. So now, a little bit of my personal experience with therapy, and a little bit of background. I've been going to therapy since I was like, I want to say in like 9th or 10th grade, probably even before then. And at first, I'm not going to lie, okay, my experience was not great, because I just was like, I don't like you. You don't even get what I'm trying to say to you. And then when I ask for some advice, the advice you give me is so shitty. And maybe it was just because I was so young, I didn't understand. And at the time that he was like giving me the advice, I'm like, I'm only 7, so I don't really know. I'm just having problems with my friends not trying to play with me and be rude.
Okay.
I just didn't get it. But as I grew up, I did end up liking it. I only had like one bad experience with a therapist, and like I said, that was when I was like younger, and that was, I think it was like when I first started getting bullied, and I went to talk to somebody, but I don't know if it was the way I worded what I was trying to ask him to help me with. He didn't know what to say. And so his response just made me cry. And I was just like, I'm ready to go, because he pissed me off. And I was just like, Mom, I'm ready to leave. I walked up out of his office and everything. Like, I was just like, boy, fuck you. I was just like, nah, bruh. So then I didn't go to that. Actually did make me shy away from therapy for a little minute. I don't think I went back until I lost my virginity and stuff, and then shit just started hitting the fan. I think one of the main things you need to look at when you are first starting to look at a therapist is look at their background. What do they specialize in? You know, like what type of therapy do they specialize in? Do they specialize in family and marriage? Do they specialize in relationships? Do they specialize in talking with child adolescents? You don't know, so you have to look them up. Look up their background and what they do. What do they relate more to? And that's who you pick from that list that you've compiled. Pick from that list of who you want to go to. Who in your insurance covers that's cheaper. Who you can afford, period, if you don't have no insurance. Who's free. Who, you know, everything like that is good. And so once you find these people that are they can be a little bit more relatable, then you pick somebody and you go, and it's not a scary place. Literally, your first time going up in there, they're probably going to do intake. Intake is literally where they get to know you. They're just wanting to know what brought you here to therapy. What do you want to work on within yourself? Because at the end of the day, going to therapy, this therapy process is for you. It's not about the people you might be beefing with. It's not about, you know, anybody that don't have nothing to do with you. It's about making sure you can better yourself for you. And so with that process, the first time you get up in there, they just want you to discuss why you're here. Why did you choose to come to therapy and talk to somebody random about it because you felt like you were alone and could not talk to anybody else outside of therapy. So that's all it is. Like, I think the person I go to now, she's real cool, and you know, the person I went to before her was amazing. And the first time I met with them, like, it was a down to moment. I was in a real dark place. You go in there, a lot of people go in there in a dark place, even if it's not a dark place where you're going in there crying or things like that, but more so of a dark place where you got a lot of heavy stuff on your mind and you just don't know how to process it all, and you need to learn how to process it. So they're there to help you process through it so that you could come out to a better outcome in the future. So all I did was, you know, they was just like, how are you? And, you know, what are you feeling right now? And, well, what brought you here? And, you know, just give me a little background story about what made you want to come, or what's been going on in your life that made you feel like you needed to talk to somebody else that was not connected to anything you had going on. So once they get your little background story and, you know, things like that, and they might be writing down stuff, or actually some of them really just sit there and listen, because like I said, their main thing is to listen to you. And if you want to be advised, you want some advice from somebody outside of the connection of what's going on, they're there for that, but they are there to help you process through your emotions. So once you get done with that, giving a brief background, they might ask you simple things like, okay, so what specifically is the first thing you want to work on? Or if they don't ask you that, they might ask you, well, do you want to start off by working on this? Or it seems, judging by what you have told me so far, because they can only go off of what you tell them. So if it's only a little bit, they can only go off of that little bit that you've told them. And so they might ask you something like, well, it seems like, judging by what you have said so far, I feel like you might be feeling things like this. And you'll agree, respond to them to let them know if they're right or wrong. And then they'll be like, well, how does it sound if we work on this, or this specifically? And then once we build up some more, we can get more comfortable with this and this. And, you know, this is all they do. There's no sitting up of them telling you what you already know. It's more of you're going to tell them how you feel, why you came and stuff, and what you feel like you need to work on personally within yourself so that you can be able to respond to future things in a better way than what you're responding to it like now. Excuse me. So that's just something that a lot of people I feel like don't think about because they don't know that that's what it is. But personally, with my experience, it's helped me through a lot of stuff. I've learned so many patterns that I have. You learn different patterns that you might have that you didn't even know about. Like I have the pattern of moving too fast in relationships and not realizing that. I have the pattern of not knowing the difference between helping somebody and rescuing them. And I do a lot of rescuing than I do helping. And I learned things like setting boundaries so that I can be able to be more emotionally stable and not overwhelm and stress myself out. I've learned so many things in therapy by being able to talk it out with somebody that doesn't even know me that can help me process through it than I have with people just by telling people my issues that I do know, you know, because you also got to think about the people that you do know. When you tell them your problems, you don't know, do you know if they have problems going on too? If so, they might not be able to be of help to you at the moment. And a therapist strictly focuses on you. They're focusing on what you are trying to tell them, what you want them to know, what you want them to help you process through. You don't have to worry about telling them something and then them having too much stuff on their mind and things going on in their life. They're there for you. It's not for anybody else but you. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that, but it's actually better to talk to people that are strangers about things, especially a therapist, than it is to talk to somebody that you know about it. And even in therapy, I've heard this so many times, even when I admitted myself into the mental health facility. It was so many times that I realized that a lot of people that that complain about therapy have some negative to say about therapy or things like that. 9 times out of 10, they the ones that need to be going, and they don't even realize it themselves yet. But they are the number one people that need to be sitting in there because they have issues that they have not resolved internally within themselves that they need to go learn how to process them so that they can be a better person. So I just think that when you hear the word therapy or counseling, or do you want to go talk to someone else that's not connected to the situation, it's definitely not something to be scared of or be negative about. It's actually something positive. And think of it in a way as you're helping yourself. And you are such a strong person for actually being able to acknowledge your personal issues you might be going through within yourself internally, and being able to get the motivation and strength to go talk to somebody to learn how to process these things. So you're not weak for going to a therapist. You're not weak for feeling like you need to admit yourself into a mental health facility to gain your sanity back. You're strong. You're nowhere near weak because of that. And you're nowhere near weak for opening up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable when talking to these therapists about personal issues, because a lot of people shy away because they're prideful. They don't like to be vulnerable in front of people. We in the African American community have always been told to you don't put your business out there on the street. But this is probably one of the main reasons why many of us have so many mental health issues, because we never learned how to really cope with them, because we was always told to bottle these things up, and they're not meant to be held in the dark. They're meant to come to the light so that you can be able to decide and make better decisions and things for your life in the future. So just think about that. I hope you got something out of this video. Like I said, I did not want this video to be long. I wanted you guys to be able to get something out of it, because I know a lot of people shy away from therapy, and it's definitely not something to shy away about. Like I said, don't be prideful. Allow yourself to open up and be vulnerable. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to hurt. Feel whatever you need to feel. Because that's going to make you way stronger than you even are now for going and doing it. And, you know, just who cares what people have to say about the simple fact that you are trying to better yourself and learn how to process things for you. Who cares? They are the ones that need to probably be going themselves too. But you can't force nobody to do what they don't want to do. You can only help yourself. And so I just want you to know you are one of a kind. You are strong, okay? Go out there and get some knowledge. Alright? Knowledge, okay? Period. Because y'all, mental health matters. Your mental state is like so important. If you do not have a stable mental health mindset, you cannot function out here in the real world. You cannot do anything. You will not be able to function. You need to be able to have your sanity and your peace of mind in order to move on with your life, do new things, experience new things, grow, you know, become somebody or the person that you knew you was always supposed to be. And a lot of people have the problem of judging people before they even get to know the person, and so that makes you not want to speak out. But use your voice. Use it for not them, but for you, okay? Because at the end of the day, when everybody is dead and gone, all you got is you. You don't have nobody else. You have to make sure you okay so that you can keep moving forward. And so I just hope that you guys learned something from this video. Don't forget, like I said, to like, comment, subscribe, and share to your friends and family, okay? Comment, give me feedback on this topic and how you feel, or if you've gone to therapy, share your story. DM me content suggestions and things like that of what you want me to talk about, what you want to know, anything like that, and I will be glad to make videos on it, okay? And don't forget, like I said, to check out my new project coming out February 1st, so stay tuned for that to be promoted on Instagram and Facebook as well. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye!